Hello, good evening, and welcome to round 8 of RTFR in 2025. Hello. Apologies for that. We had a catastrophic network error there, but we're back. And yeah, it's round 8 of RTFR. I think the start has been held just for me, so apologies for that. But we are going to get going just as soon as everybody is ready to go. Yes, everybody has waited for me. How very kind. Apologies for the delayed start then to RTFR, everybody. We are back at Westhill National for 20 laps with the Troeno JGT. I was rudely cut off, but we are back, and yeah, we've had a qualifying session in which Gabba took pole position, closely followed by Lugutskas. That is Gabba's 40th ever pole position in RTFR, and looking at the standings, it looks like it's pretty much a two-horse race between Gabba and Rick Cardle. So yeah, that'll be very exciting indeed. We'll get this race underway in just a couple of seconds' time. But yeah, the championship looks like a two-horse race between those two at the top. Very, very difficult for other drivers to score the requisite points or the required points to get into the top two or even the top spot there. Gabba with a stranglehold on the grid today. And if we look at the qualifying results, you can see that in the standings. Gabba leads Lugutskas on the front row, Sufor and Mouseman, then TJ and El Nano, with Johnny SVK, Mochuitis, Themuli and Onifus your top 10. And a really, really nice turnout. 3940 cars actually on my timing screen now. 39 completing qualifying and an extra sneaking in there just at the end by the looks of it. But yeah, really nice turnout with the Troeno JGT, which we're going to look at right now before we get going. 2-litre inline-4 rear-wheel drive car has been compared in some ways to the FBM, still capable of getting the rear out and spinning if the drivers put it too close to the grass. And it sounds like we are having a restart in the background, so we should get some racing underway in just a moment's time, which gives me enough time to tell you that this is round 8 of the 12 round season 1 of RTFR for 2025. Let's take a look at the grid. There they are. The 40 cars are waiting to get going here, with Gabba alongside Lugutskas on the front row as the lights all come on and we get ready to begin. And there we go, as they all pull away. And it's a great start from everybody at the front by the looks of it. And, well, somebody there, I think that's TJ pulling out of the slipstream. Yes, it is. And actually, Lugutskas goes for the move into turn 1 as well. And makes the move, so Gabba down. Oh, as TJ spins. Oh, sorry, that's El Nano. Oh, no, it is TJ who spun. We've got a bunch of cars spinning. Cars going very slowly in the middle of the pack, but most cars at the front able to get clear. And we go side by side once again. Gabba slips it up the inside. Lugutskas runs very wide onto the grass. Has to cut back and will rejoin in 4th position. He might lose out another place there if he's not careful, but that's Sufor and Mouseman both sneaking through and capitalising on an early mistake for Lugutskas. Hachiroku is right there as well in P5, looking to get through on Lugutskas. As Sufor is going for a move on Gabba into the hairpin. Sufor in the red, Gabba in the purple, and it's side by side. Gabba with the advantage into the double right-hander, and he's got the lead back just about. As we head onto the back straight, you see the long snake of cars, but it is Sufor who is pulling out of the slipstream up the inside again on Gabba. And Sufor is showing us what he's got here today. Gabba around the outside, trying to hold on to it. But yeah, side by side as we come out of the final corner. And it's absolutely going to be advantage Mouseman at this point. He's got a huge slipstream. Gabba switches back to the outside. Sufor flicks to the inside. Gabba giving him no slipstream whatsoever. And yeah, Gabba leads into turn 1 on lap 2. But brilliant racing at the front as we see everybody trying to slither their way through turn number 1. And here's Unite. Unite's up to P14. Another high climber is Adam as well. He's up to P7. Very, very solidly mid-pack at the beginning of the race, but with the drama that happened at the first corner. A lot of drivers have managed to make up quite a lot of places. We've got a 3 wide here. Mika Sarkkinen in the middle, sneaking through there. Oh, and who's that going off on the back of the track? That was Redbot. Nope. My apologies. Anyway, as we've got the Gutskas up to, well, Hachiroku actually up to P3, getting P5. Sorry, Mouseman dropping back. Lugutskas up to P3. And Gabba has opened up a bit of a gap over Sufor after it looked like Sufor would sneak through. Gabba has opened that gap back up. We've got Sobis here on Raksan. Sobis on the outside. Oh, and Raksan's spinning out a little bit there. Sobis able to keep the place. Majester's in his slipstream though. As we run up to start finish, they're going to be side by side over start finish. That's Rony just behind them. Another couple of cars there close. Martin Kapal and Unite. As everyone runs up to turn number 1. For the third time in this race. We've got Gabba leading, followed by Sufor. Then it's the Gutskas, Mouseman, Hachiroku. Another solid drive tonight. Motomikari P6. Adam P7. Aero LT in P8. Then it's Mad Jester who just snuck through on Sobis with Rony there now in P11. Raksan is being Rick is having a look at Raksan now. Rick in the slightly pink car there. Martin Kapal in the beige. Rick going for a move up the inside. He's not well positioned to challenge Gabba for the championship lead tonight. So this is looking even better for Gabba now, as Martin Kapal loses a place to Raksan. But Martin's going to try and get him back straight away on the back straight. Goes to the inside. And that's Unite in the background as well. Pushing Unite a little bit and then makes it 3 wide into the final corner. So Unite could get 2 places here. As we exit the final corner to start lap number 4. Gabba leads, Sufor, Lugutskas and Mouseman now pulling away from Motomikari a little bit. Mouseman's a little bit closer to the main pack. As here, we've got this battle still going on. We've got Unite now at the front with Raksan and Martin Kapal. And oh, who's that? That's TJ slamming into the back of Martin, sending him spinning round into the wall. I think there was contact. Very weird place to lose it for Martin. Bit of a coincidence, but anyway. TJ. Well, Martin joins back down in 32nd place there. A lot of places lost for him. Rick Cardle is through, or rather, Rony is hassling the back of Rick Cardle now. Big pack of cars here, just inside the 20s zone. We've got Magic and Hermani. Behind them it's Mika, who's being passed by Steve Martin. Steve Martin only with the pink rims today, the only telling sign that it's him. But Mika there losing another couple of places. And Abe's in the mix as well, as we've got Motomikari now, or rather Adam, challenging for what will be P6. Yeah, Adam has managed to get P6 off of Motomikari there. Next in his sights is Hachiroku. So Adam making big gains up from the middle of the pack up to now P6 on the road. Good drive from him, as we've now got Sufor under a little bit of pressure from Lugutskas. Lugutskas looks like he might have a potentially have a slipstream going onto the home straight, as this pack is absolutely enormous. Got Mika there being nudged by Steve Martin. We've got Ayub making moves down the order, but look at the sheer number of cars involved in this battle. Absolutely amazing. And it is Magic who still holds on to the lead. Ayub is in the slipstream, although it looks like he's pushing him down the back straight, trying to push them clear of the cars behind. Mika battling with Vanberg here. Jari Katila making a move on Onifus around the outside into turn one. Onifus is still there, but Jari Katila has the overlap. That's a great move. Muli in the background watches on and could potentially capitalise here. Got Onifus going, well, losing quite a lot of speed because of the effects of Jari driving around in front of him, but it looks like Onifus is trying to get back through. And yeah, Muli there, through on Jari. And now looks set to try and get past Onifus as well. Yep, to the inside, Onifus doesn't defend. And Thamuli, just forcing the move, has done it. He's through. Great move. Although Onifus is coming back at him, he's got the momentum, but I think Thamuli will hold on to it. Yeah, oh, he's into the wall. Oh, it was looking so good, but Thamuli is going to have to, well, drop back down the order and fight his way back up, I think, because, well, a little bit unlucky. It's Teemu Soini now. Fancies a move on Onifus. Teemu Soini on the outside, Thamuli now on the inside. And Thamuli gets back through. Sorry, yeah, Jari Katila gets back through. My mistake. Too many yellow cars here today. The SVK just behind Soini there. But as we're on lap 7 now, the leaders have really bunched up. Sufor is being pushed towards Gabba by Lugutskas. Lugutskas is piling on the pressure. But these three are absolutely miles ahead of Mouseman. 4 seconds, more than 4 seconds ahead now. Oh, as Lugutskas there catches a little bit of the grass, still manages to get the car slowed down, but that looked like it could have been an accident if they weren't careful. But Gabba now out of the double right-hander, heading on down towards the final corner. And he is on an absolute mission. Try and extend his championship lead as much as he possibly can over his teammate Rick Cardle. But he's got 2 very worthy challengers following him around here. Sufor and Lugutskas. And as we head up to start finish, got a car just exiting the pit lane actually. That's Ruby exiting the pits. Let's see, Rony. I think Majesty's just managed to get through. But Rony's going to try and come back at him. Nope. Decides to tuck back in the slipstream. Behind that, we've got Unite and Raxane. So we've got a crash up ahead. Oh, we've got a car going backwards. Who's that? It's Mots McCarry. Mots McCarry's come to blows with... must have been either Hachiroku or Adam. That's the region that he was in. Chris is going to confirm for us what's happened there, but Hachiroku tumbling down the order. It might have been a crash on its own, of course, out of the first corner, but we will hear what happened. Oh, it's Gabber. That's to glitch in and out of the server a little bit there. And the Gutskas has lost a little bit of pace. But it looks like actually that Montebeccari's had contact with Aero LT around turn 1, so not a driver I expected to be in a battle with him, but there we go, that's what's happened. And as we exit the final corner, it does look like, well actually, yeah, no, Sufor's not had the best of exits, unfortunately. As we've got Unite having a battle with Rony now, down the order. Rony pulling out of the slipstream. And Unite trying to keep this position that he's just gained. And, well, looks like Rony's got that back. Oh, no, he's out off onto the grass. Unite gets back through. Oh, Unite himself catches the grass. This car's seeming quite tricky as Mouseman is... oh no, he's back. He was timing out the server slightly, but he is back. And it's all going off today. As Rick Cardle's trying to get past Carlos Motojoitis here. And it's Sufor who holds on to the fastest lap, but now losing a little bit of time to Gabber, and we're approaching the halfway stage. End of the next lap, we are halfway through our 20 laps of Westhill National. Rick's going for the move. He's alongside Sobis and now ahead into the braking zone. That's up to P7 for him, as Adam is back through on Hachiroku. So up to P5 now for Adam in the race. Making good moves up and down the field. Thamuli's been off and he's right down in P29. So Thamuli's had a big amount of trouble. The accident before wasn't enough. He's gone off again and is limping that car along. Whether he goes into pit lane or not remains to be seen. But yeah, not the way he would have wanted this race to go. And no, he's carrying on, so he's happy that his car is drivable for the second half of round number 8. We've got twin cam on Omar here, and the move is made. Twin cam up to P27. But there we go, in the background it's Sufor being passed by the Gutskas. It's happened, Sufor's lost a little bit of time. The Gutskas has pounced and Sufor is trying to get back at him into the final corner. Sufor on the outside, the Gutskas brakes later. And this is going to give Sufor quite a lot of slipstream as we exit out of the final corner. As we ride on board now with him up towards start-finish. You can see how powerful the slipstream is. That car has got... it's punching a big hole in the air. And this is going to be playing nicely into the hands of Gabber, who extends his lead a little bit more onto this lap. Oh, Sufor catches the grass, leaves a lot of rubber on the road, but keeps the place for now. Can't afford too many of those slides, that's for sure. But it's Gutskas now in the hot seat once again. Will he decide to work with Sufor a bit more, or is he going to try and go for glory and try to catch up to Gabber on his own? But another 2 tenths taken away from both of these cars, 1.5 tenths. Sufor goes defensive, the Gutskas forced to go around the outside. He can be later on the brakes, he's got more road to play with. Oh, but contact, and they hold each other up even more. There's daylight between themselves and Mouseman, but not endless daylight, especially not if one of them turns the other around. But yeah, Sufor having to go all the way over to the right-hand side of the track to avoid giving Lagutskás the full complement of slipstream there. And, well, the battle is neutralised once again. Lagutskás will need a pretty special exit if he's to close the gap, and I don't think he's managed to get it. I think Sufor is safe for the home straight. Rickardle, meanwhile, is closing up to the back of Sobis. That's TJ in the slightly bent Troeno in the background. That's after an incident at turn 1 on the first lap. I'm amazed actually that he's managed to keep it in P9. He was facing the wrong way in the barrier on the first lap. And still maintains a top 10 position in this race. But Rickardle will not be content with a P8. He'll want as many points as he can get in this race. As we head on down the hill, closing up ever closer to the back of Paulus Motiuitis here. As Lagutskás is making a move again on Sufor into the hairpin. But Sufor's managed to keep the place again. The gap to the lead now up to 3 seconds. These two have lost a second in the last couple of laps just by fighting with one another. Lagutskás is desperate for a way through. To the inside again. That's the, third time he pulled out of the slipstream on that straight alone? And Sufor might get a chance to just slipstream him back. Oh, nearly losing the rear of the car again there. And TJ's managed to get through on Rick and Sobis meanwhile. So that's interesting. They're still side by side, but we'll keep an eye on this lead, on this battle for P2. Sufor back into second place. But yeah, TJ is leading this group of 3 now down the home straight, 3 wide. Rickardle in the middle, Sobis on the outside. And it's Rickardle who's now leading this group. And Sobis does manage to sneak around the outside. So clearly this car provides plenty of opportunity for slipstreaming and overtaking. Michael, Nozzle and Johnny SVK all side by side. Oh, Onifus, sorry. Onifus, Nozzle and Michael. And Michael pushing Onifus outside a little bit. Michael in the bright blue runs off. And Onifus will surely take that place back around the outside. Yes, he does. And there we go, neutralised once again. Nozzle can carry on where he was. As Lagutskás again is still not able to get through on Sufor. They've lost another second this lap since we last saw them. Gap now 4 seconds. They won't care about that, that's the thing. They want P2. Gabba can run away all he wants. Oh, as Sufor seemingly just drives off the road. Not sure what happened there. Very unusual one. But presuming some contact between the two. And some big damage now on the side of Sufor's car. Lagutskás seemingly doesn't think he did anything wrong and continues in P2. So he's made the place finally, and it looks like it's stuck for the time being. DJ's managed to gap Motiuitis. And let's see if there's anybody else close together on the track. We've got Ayub closing up to the back of Martin McCarry. We've got Martin Kapal closing up to the back of Stephen Martin into the final corner. Redbot also close on Yari, Magic on Thamuli. So plenty of battles still brewing. Ruby's battling with Omar as well. But at the front, as we go on to lap 14, or middle of lap 14 for Gabba, he's leading quite comfortably now ahead of Lagutskás and Sufor, who's back on the scene. He's not letting Sufor get away. He goes for the move again into the hairpin. Has a nose ahead. Wow, that was a great move. Thought Lagutskás had this wrapped up and was driving off into the sunset, but Sufor is back on him and has got back through just like that. Well, I think this is the way that it is going to be until the end now. These two Still with quite a big buffer to Mouseman, but now almost a 6-second gap to our race leader. But the Gutsgas taking back ownership of that P2. Is Sufor close enough for a move into turn 1? I don't think he is. Nope, I don't think so. I'm really thinking about a move on Redbot. Really on the, well, now ahead of Redbot. Redbot in the sort of burgundy maroon car. Absolutely immediately on the back of Jari Katila as we switch to Martin Kapal, who's being passed by Steve Martin, or rather Steve Martin defends that place. Steve up to P22. Martin losing a place, and well, Martin's car, especially the front, looking a little bit worse for wear. As the laps tick away here at Westhill National. And as we cross over start finish, 2-4 doesn't have the slipstream again. It's close, but it's not close enough to capitalise. The gap now to the front, 5.7 seconds to Gabba. He's completely checked out. And it looks like I've got some support in the commentary box. Meek Sarkinen has decided to join us. Meek, you've retired from the race, but you're here for a bit of commentary.
Yeah, good evening, champs. Unlucky I had to retire. It wasn't not the way I thought it would go, but I started having some lag and I was about to get lapped, so I didn't want to bother the faster drivers with compromising them, so might as well hop in here and have a good one with you guys.
Fair enough, happy to have you along. Looks like we've got Thamuli just there being, well, getting past Jari Katila. Jari now under pressure from Redbot. But good to have you along. Don't normally get you for RTFR, I normally have you for XL, of course.
Yep, usually I'm driving, so hard to do both.
Well, we had you on the camera and now we've got you in the commentary box, so a double duty for you tonight. But Gabba's doing an amazing job out front. 5.8 seconds. Behind we've got the Gutskas and Sufor still battling, but the gap between the two has opened up a little bit more even on this lap than it was last time. So the Gutskas finally, potentially with a foothold, but I don't think we can say that because it changed quite quickly last time. Last man still holding on to P4, Adam in P5. We've got Johnny SVK looking for a move on Ayoub now into the final corner. Ayoub not defensive enough, Johnny to the inside. See if he can make it stick. Well, he's up the inside.
He seems good enough for that.
Yeah,
and
pretty good.
Very nice move. He's got a good exit as well. But there is still a slipstream going on. So this is far from over. It's Ayoub getting back fast. This first corner, I had to take it too wide a couple of times, and it isn't very nice. But they give it each other space, so it's good.
Steve on twin cam. And, well, Steve is back through. Well, Steve is through. I think twin cam's lost a couple of places. He's lost a place to Martin Gapal, I think, as well. Unless I'm mistaken. Possible I'm mistaken. It's hard to keep track of all the drivers down the field, but well, how is this car to drive, Mika? I've not tried it myself.
Well, I guess I'm not the best one to say, since I really usually struggle with these types of cars, but It was maybe a bit easier than most of like GT or GTR cars. I don't know. I still struggled a bit. It is difficult for me, but I think most of these guys they have a good handle of it, and it's a fair bit easier than usual. It doesn't have a ton of power, so you can keep it under control very easily.
I've noticed quite a lot of drivers.
Just weird.
Yeah, I've noticed a lot of drivers catching the grass and almost losing the rear of the car. So it looks like it's still got enough power that it can be pretty tricky to drive.
It really can be.
Yeah, Sufor at the moment he's not able to close that gap down. He's a bit wide in places, but he has had a more fraught drive, that's for sure. Few more incidents, so maybe the tyres starting to become a bit of a handful. But yeah, we really are getting to the end of this race now. Just 6 seconds separate our leaders, but that is too much to close down in the 2 and a bit laps of racing that we've got left here tonight. But we should get some other people on the camera and show everybody on the grid. I don't think we've got any particularly close battles except the battle for P21, which is being contested by Martin, Steve and Pascal.
And that's 3 where we got here for 21st position. Martin Kappel so far leading this one. But there's Steve Martin and Twingam just behind him. Yeah, it is hard to get on a battle with this car on this track because the line you drive, the racing line, it's quite narrow. So when you have to go for the overtakes, it eats a lot of like lap time from you, way more than some other combos. So if you get caught up in a fight, it's very possible that the guys behind will catch you up like more quickly than you would think, and that allows these like more cars in a like same battle more often.
Yeah, and there we go. Steve Martin feeling he has to go defensive to ward off Twincam as we're on to lap 19 of 20, and Ayoub is trying to get through on Johnny, and he's done it into turn 1. See if Steve leads Twincam through turn 1 as well.
You can see Twincam is hungry. He's constantly looking over both sides of Steve Martin where he can put his car.
Yeah, but the gap is too big. I mean, I know the slipstream's huge in this car, but it's still too big at this point to close it down. As we've got Martin spinning there. Yeah, caught the grass and loses the car.
Yeah, this is the dangerous point. When you clip the grass even a tiny bit, you just suddenly lose like all of it. The rear just steps out so easily. And now that is Hamley who caught up Martin Kappel right there.
Yeah, as these two go back at it. Really up the inside, and it should be a clean pass, but Martin's still there. He's got a nose in. No, Martin keeps the place. And our leaders are now across start finish and on to the final lap. That's how far ahead they are. As Rony has just spinned off Nozzle into the barrier at the exit of the final corner, and Rony is just trundling up to top speed again. And he's probably going to get passed by Michael Malek. There he goes. And, well, Nozzle. Clash of the teammates. It's not what you see that often, but not a good look for the race green team to be taking out their own drivers. But anyway, Steve Martin still side by side with Twincam, and Twincam is through on this occasion. And side by side we have again Thamuli and Martin Kappel. Martin Carey, your teammate there as well in the background.
Yeah, it's kind of 2v1 right now here. Let's see if our teammates can make it. Oh, Matimuka getting so close, but it's hard to follow. The dirty air. It is a tricky one with this car, for sure.
Out of the final corner comes Gabba to put a stranglehold on the championship. This will be a real statement to everybody else, but across start finish comes Gabba to win the 8th round of the 2025 season of RTFR. Across the line in second place, it's Lagutskas and Sufor. and it's going to be close between TJ and Rick Cardle. Look at that, across start finish, they're going to be absolutely neck and neck. Oh, who even got that on paper?
Cardle who got it in the end.
Rick Cardle got it, and NFS reckons it was by only 1/100th of a second over TJ. But yeah, Rick Cardle getting the place.
It's a close one, but everything matters. 100 is enough.
Absolutely. Michael Malik next across the line. Oh, but will he lose a place? Oh, he almost lost a place. Did he lose a place?
Almost.
Oh.
No, he didn't. It certainly got close. Then we got a bunch of cars coming. They're not close enough to fight, but very close, so you can see all of them coming up as a bunch. And then it's gonna be... Oh.
Yeah, Thamuli, Martin and Motivicari across the line. Next we'll have Magic. Then Yari. Redbot's over, then Omar. And we're just waiting for Hermani and Ruby to come around. Well, Hermani's finished actually, there we go. So just Ruby up to the line. And that is all of the finishes for today. So yeah, thanks for joining me in the commentary box, Mika. Really appreciate it in the dying laps.
Thank you for letting me in. It was nice to hop in here for a while. I
wasn't expecting it, to be honest. Normally you're busy driving, but there we are. So yeah.
And I really tried to make it all the way to the finish line, but it was just getting too much.
Sometimes you just can't help it, and it is what it is. But yeah, double duty tonight as Gabba wins in 32 minutes, 0.26, 4.5 seconds ahead of Lagutskas in the end. So they did manage to close up slightly after they'd finished battling between each other. But yeah, Sufor third on the podium tonight. Not a bad result, and put on a great show on the broadcast as well. Mouseman there in P4, best of the rest with Adam, Hachiroku, Rick Cardle, TJ Sobis and Aero LT. That does mean that Gabba will stretch his championship lead over his teammate Rick Cardle with 4 rounds to go. And then we've got Manchester Unite, Onifus, Raxane, Michael, Rony, Ayub, JSK, Nozzle and Timu Soini, your top 20. Over on our second screen, we'll have Twin Cam, Steve Martin, Thamuli, Martin Kapal, Motti Mikari, Magic, Yarrick Tiller, Redbot, Omar, and Hermani, the top 30. With Ruby, the final finisher, and DNF's going to Strandberg, yourself, Mika, Rootsleinen, Real Ayman YouTube, and El Nano there in P36, our 36 starters from 40 qualifiers. And that brings to a close the 356th ever RTFR. Now, before we wrap up, we do have to say that obviously next time out for the RTFR World, for RTFR XL, is a big one, Mika. And
yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure. As far as I'm aware, it's 100 minutes long. So we're into an hour and 40 minutes territory with the XRR at Kyoto GP Long Boothie. So that's going to be brilliant. An absolute classic.
Yep. I'm going to expect some good mayhem out there.
Absolutely. That is a given. So yeah, join us next Tuesday for the 100th 100-minute RTFR XL. That's the 100th ever RTFR XL on Sim Broadcasts live from 6 o'clock UTC. To all of you guys who know how the time zone works this time of the year. But yeah, great to have you all there, either as competitors or watching along for the broadcast. But yeah, thanks to Race Green Events and to the rest of the field for waiting for me to sort the network problems out over here before we started the broadcast. But yes, we got there in the end. And thanks for joining me in the commentary box in the dying moments there, Mika.
Yeah, thank you for letting me in. It was nice. And maybe we might end up doing this some other time as well if I get unlucky with the races. I
hope not, in some respect, and I hope so in another. So I don't know which side you want to fall on that, but either way, if you start a race, I hope you finish it. So there we go.
Yeah, me too.
Well, that's round 8 in the books, folks. You can catch the RTFR Championship again in 2 weeks' time. We have XL next week, of course, the longer edition, but the next time out for this championship will be round 9, which is on April 29th for the 357th ever RTFR. And we're going to have four rounds left to see how this championship is going to end up. The next RTFR will be at Rockingham Oval with the Ereso mod, which is going to be an interesting one. Sort of a touring car at the Rockingham Oval. So that'll be for 44 laps, and that'll be a good one. So we hope you can join us for that. That's all we've got time for tonight, but thank you for joining us again for RTFR in Live for Speed. It's fun as ever, and we wish you a very good night. From all of us here at Sim Broadcasts, to all of you, have a great one. Good night.
Bye-bye.